presented by Auraverse, where consciousness, earth, and inner wisdom move as one. Showcase your work at auraverse.network and let your voice travel across worlds.
Before we begin, let your breath soften and imagine the ground beneath you as part of one vast living circle that holds you and everyone you love in the same quiet embrace. Welcome. I am C.S. Douglas, and this is Codex Æternum, the Rational Bible, a journey through the hidden architecture of power and the living conscience of the universe.
This program is endorsed by Authorpedia, the world's only encyclopedia exclusively dedicated to authors, a living archive where writers and thinkers are immortalized through literature. Visit authorpedia.org and become part of our enduring legacy.
In Book 6, The Sages, we now enter Episode 93, The Sacred Hoop and the Earth We Share. Across the plains, mountains, and forests of the Americas, a chorus of voices has long spoken of a truth as simple as it is demanding. All life is kin. Among those voices are Black Elk of the Lakota, Chief Seattle of the Suquamish and Duwamish, Ohiyesa of the Santee Dakota, Tecumseh of the Shawnee, and many other elders whose names may be less known, but whose insight runs just as deep. They picture existence not as a pyramid of dominance, but as a sacred hoop, a circle in which every being has a place, a dignity, and a responsibility. The sacred hoop, sometimes called the medicine wheel, is more than a symbol painted on hides or stones. It is a way of seeing. A circle has no privileged point, no beginning or end. In that shape, north, south, east, and west stand in balanced relation. Seasons turn and return. Birth, growth, death, and renewal follow one another without final loss. Black Elk spoke of the world itself as a great circle, and of the people as a circle within that circle, strong when its links are unbroken, vulnerable when they forget that their strength lies in connection. Chief Seattle gave this vision a language that traveled far beyond his own shores. He reminded those who would listen that the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. And that all things are connected like the blood that unites us all. In that understanding, a river poisoned for profit is not just damaged property. It is an injured relative. A forest cut bare is not only lost timber, it is a breach in the circle that will eventually echo back in human bodies and minds. Ohiyesa, who walked in both native and Western worlds, described life as a web where every strand is joined to every other. To tug one thread is to send vibrations across the whole. Humanity, he said, is just one thread among many. When we live with humility and restraint, the web holds firm. When we act as if only our own comfort matters, we fray the strands that also support us. Tecumseh saw the land and its people as one living body. He urged his listeners to stand together, like a single mighty tree, their many roots joined in the same earth. He understood that unity was not merely political necessity, but a reflection of an already existing fact. The rivers, animals, and human communities rise and fall together. To forget this is to weaken the whole. In native thought, the circle appears everywhere, in the shape of the teepee and the council fire, in the dance, in the cycle of seasons and generations. The medicine wheel gathers these meanings into a single teaching. Its 4 directions can stand for seasons, elements, stages of life, aspects of the self. To walk the medicine wheel is to learn balance, to give due honor to childhood and old age, to body and spirit, to action and rest. When one quadrant dominates, when, for example, doing crowds out listening, the wheel wobbles. Within this vision, Earth is not a backdrop, but a living presence. She is spoken of as mother, not as a metaphor of convenience, but as a statement of relationship. From her we draw food, water, shelter, and even the substances of our bones. To treat her as dead matter is to misunderstand ourselves as well. Chief Seattle's warning that whatever befalls the earth befalls the children of the earth is, in this sense, not poetry, but physics of the heart. The sacred hoop includes not only visible beings, but ancestors and unseen powers. Black Elk's visions show the people surrounded by those who came before, watching, teaching, and praying for them. To ignore the wisdom of elders or to break treaties with the land is therefore not only short-sighted, it is a break in the relationship between past, present, and future. To honor them is to keep the circle strong for children yet unborn. From this perspective, stewardship of the earth is not an optional ethical add-on. It is the natural conduct of a being who knows they are part of a family. To take only what is needed, to give thanks, to return something, a song, an offering, a planted seed, is simple reciprocity. The buffalo, the salmon, the corn are not resources. They are fellow participants in the hoop. Use without reverence is experienced as betrayal. The sages warn, too, against the sickness of greed, taking more than one's share, treating land and life as fuel for individual appetite. Tecumseh saw clearly that such a path ends in exhausted soil, broken communities, and spiritual poverty. Yet his call is not only defensive, it is a reminder that sufficiency is possible, that a life of enough can be rich in ways no hoarded wealth can imitate. Ohiyesa points out that when humans fall out of harmony with the natural world, their own spirits suffer. Anxiety, alienation, and the sense of meaninglessness are, in this telling, symptoms of forgetting our place in the web. To restore balance is not only to plant trees or clean rivers, though these are vital, but to remember ourselves as participants, not owners. The teachings of the sacred hoop ask you to notice how each of your actions, however small, reverberates. The food you choose, the way you speak to a stranger, the care you give to a patch of ground, all are threads in the same design. Perfection is not required. Awareness is. The question shifts from, what can I get, to, what kind of footprint do I leave in this circle? Carry this revelation as an everyday practice. When you step outside, even briefly, acknowledge the land beneath you, as if you were entering a relative's home. When you make a decision that affects water, soil, or animal life, let yourself feel that you are touching part of your own extended body. This is not sentimentality. It is a discipline of perception, a way of strengthening the sense of shared fate that the native sages considered the basis of wisdom. In our next episode, we return to the stone-paved streets of Athens and sit once more in the marketplace. This time with Socrates, a man who owned little but whose questions unsettled empires. He will show us that wisdom begins not with certainty, but with the honest admission, I do not know, and that through careful questioning and fearless introspection, the soul can turn from habit and pretense toward a clearer, more truthful life. Our next sponsor is Everly Books Publishing Group, a traditional independent press serving both new and established writers. Everly Books welcomes unsolicited manuscripts submitted directly through everlybooks.org.